Good morning. Well, it's 1 p.m., not exactly morning. Apologize. Still living a little bit of a denial, I guess, like Friday to last as long as possible. Welcome to the October Conversation at the Center. That's 1 week later than what was originally scheduled. We ran into some problems while I was on vacation. The Zoom is only registered in my name, which we are currently fixing. And so somebody can't just come in and start a meeting. That was my fault. I didn't think about that, but we have now. So moving forward, we have that fixed. It's just me today. We had some employees go home sick. We have some employee or managers on vacation, which I totally support and glad they're able to do. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, Jane's nodding her head yes, and thumbs up. So we'll continue to go forward. I'd also like to note that this is the 1 year anniversary of our Conversations at the Center. We started in October of 2020. Doing this as far as recording, I should say. We were doing it before that, but not really recording them. So we have 1 full year available on our website. Also, Wilson Binkley, who does our website, apologizes greatly. The Ascmp has 2 YouTube channels. One of them is official and one of them is not official. It's just created to help upload things in the background. But Wilson Binkley put the last 3 I took to him the day after our last in September. They put them on the wrong YouTube channel. So thank you to those. I think it was Tina. Thank you for letting us know about that. And we were able to make the switch, and they should be on there. They said that they corrected it. So all should be up and current, and I'll get this meeting to them as soon as possible. So we're going to start right off. We have 2 questions, but they're a little bit involved. So I'll be more than happy at all to, I'll try my best to answer the questions. So this one says, are applicants for the Ascmp positions required to have a bachelor's degree to be considered? It all depends on the position. The higher up for like management you get, I believe, yes, a bachelor's degree is required. Like for my job, it was required. I know for Bernice's required. I know for the medical department, like the medical director, yes, that's one thing that's required. But for our lower or less management positions, animal caregivers, front office, really our heavy doers that do a lot of the heavy lifting, bachelor's degrees are not required for that. Number 2, what is your response to the 181 signatures on the petition requesting a trial basis of block hours for public access or a compromise of sorts related to your limited public access appointment only policy? My opinion of it is that there's really concerned individuals, citizens in the community, and I appreciate them speaking up. I really do. I heard you say the September 23rd Ascmp board meeting that the petition circulated and signed was made with good intentions or something like that. I'm left with the impression you thought it was misguided. Please clarify this and also tell us what your policy is going forward as this pandemic becomes endemic and something we'll have to live with. Many are very concerned and worried that the limited visibility for animals and restrictive public access policy is going to be indefinite. Looking at that one, to first answer the first part is, please clarify this. So when I said it was for good intentions, this is exactly what I meant. I think a group of individuals got together and said, I don't think this is right. And they signed or collected signatures. And like I said, it's for good intentions. That's why we do a lot of things, right? Is with good intentions to do them. And then the other is, what is our policy going forward? It is exactly, I'm making policies as in response to the limitations or what we currently have. As long as we are currently limiting exposure to one another, as long as we're currently doing the masks and having those limitations, then I'm going to continue to protect not only the animals in there, but also my staff, my coworkers. The policy going forth, that's too big of a question to answer right now, right? If there was 100%, everybody's okay, we don't need to worry about it anymore, then, and that's coming up, that'd be a totally different topic discussion we're having right now of what changes we're going to make. Currently at the center, I do believe that even if we were not in the middle of a pandemic and we're allowing people to come in, we would probably shut down in-person meetings or in-person walkthroughs anyways. It's not an outbreak level by any means, but we're having significant Giardia and also Coccidia issues in the center. So if we were to have people walk through, it only takes one touch in 2 kennels, one to go in an exposed one and touch the animal, and the other one to go in the other. Like I said, it's not an outbreak issue, but it definitely is an issue right now that we're trying to get our hands on. If we were to have public come in, that would be a whole other level of places that we would have to look at for the exposure level. So going forward, the question is, going forward as this pandemic becomes more of an endemic, what I believe is meant by that is everything that we have to deal with on a ongoing matter. So I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read this as I'm talking as well. Many are worried the limited visibility for animals and restricted public access is going to be indefinite. So there obviously are many different opinions on this, and we'll continue to do our best as we're moving through. Next questions. Since the shelter is asking potential adopters to peruse the adoptable animals online and pick a couple of animals to meet and make an appointment, it would really benefit the animals if their photos online are more appealing. I noticed some of them are having really good photos and videos and even a little write-up of their personalities at the bottom of the page, but it is not consistent across the board. Some of them still have their unappealing intake photos. All of them should have good photo videos to give them a shot at being adopted. And then they list some examples. And I'll show you, here's a picture of Winston. You see intake photo, very scared. And here's a picture up on top of Winston again, all nice and happy with their foster. And here's a really good example down here is the kitten intake photo here. And then here the same kitten is with the foster all nice and cleaned up. So they say suggestions, reach out to all fosters, ask them to submit photos, videos, and description of the personalities and get these uploaded to the adoptions page. Photos and videos showing their personalities and interacting with other dogs or cats would be helpful. Number 2, ask volunteers, dog walkers, cat caregivers to do the same. The volunteer coordinator should look at the sign-in sheet regularly. Reach out to remind volunteers to submit photos, videos, and notes of their interaction with the dogs and cats. Number 3, I know shelter employees are very busy, but if they can, take photos to upload to the page. And since the shelter animal caregivers interact with the animals daily, ask them to upload notes about their personalities. I couldn't agree more. There are just a few limitations on that. One is, like today, we had 3 people call in sick. They called off. And also 1 manpower person, I believe, no-showed. So what that means is we're down 4 kennel workers, and that's a significant number. So the coworkers that are here that are covering that, they're not going to have time to submit pictures or to write up a quick little cute bio. And I totally understand that. Is that every day? No, it's not. But we are short-staffed, and the staff does amazing with the current level that we have. With that said, however, we have implemented some or asked some of our volunteers to step forward and to help out as much as possible. So a lot of our, or some of our volunteers, we've given some access to Shelter Love, so they're able to get those pictures, ask for those pictures, and then they're able to upload into Shelter Love. We have to be very, very careful on access we're giving to Shelter Love because there is sensitive information in there. So the individuals who do have that access do sign a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA, that our attorney has written up. But I don't want to say, well, we have an NDA, anybody can get access, and that's not the case. It's very selective on who we're giving this access to. And there's different rights in Shelter Love. Like I can give one person just viewing rights, so they can just see the information, but they can't change anything. And then I can give somebody to change certain information for that. And then I can give other people complete rights. Obviously, complete rights can be broken down too. Like I have some that don't have access to add or to delete anything. Most of the staff at work is not allowed to delete things. They have to go and state the reason why they want something deleted, and the manager can do that. So we're definitely utilizing those different levels of access that people can have for it, and asking for volunteers. Special thank you to Jerry, who's on the call. She is stepping up big time as our interim ad hoc volunteer foster coordinator. And she's doing a fabulous job. She's one of those individuals that's helping us with this project of getting the proper photos up for the animals that are adoptable. Her and another volunteer, and also another volunteer that I know of, are asking for that information and getting them up on it. So we appreciate that. Those are the questions that I only submitted those 2 groups of questions for the meeting. So I can open it up here for a few minutes. Jean, go ahead.
Yeah, Clint, I wanted to ask you, you mentioned there were 2, call them diseases that you're feeling that are prevalent right now in the kennels. I'm assuming it's with dogs. Can you give the names of those 2 diseases again?
Yeah, Giardia and Coccidia.
Okay. And are those, I can Google them and look them up, but are they very long lasting? What's the deal there?
Well, what do you mean by long lasting? Like,
is it something that can be treated and goes away fairly quickly, or what? Yeah.
Well, I'd be more comfortable having Dr. H answer those questions, and she's on vacation, but I can tell you in a shelter environment, it takes weeks for that process to go through. Okay. And also, Giardia loves wet, damp areas when it's outside of the host. So that's an animal shelter, right? Wet, damp areas. So there's just a constant challenge of keeping areas clean. We dry hallways down with towels. It's hard, is what I'm saying. And for somebody to come through and add another level of exposure right now would not be the wise thing to do in any way, shape, or form. Because we already have staff and we have volunteers walking through there.
Okay. What was done previously, pre-pandemic, for when those diseases existed and there were public walkthroughs? How was it handled?
Well, if you remember, we had to clear out an entire kennel and go to the fairgrounds because of a Giardia outbreak. That was a full-on outbreak. Before, it's basically how it is done now is we're treating it. We've had higher levels or issues of it here. When I say it's elevated, it's not like it's the entire center. What I'm saying is there's pockets in each kennel room that are like, you have the main dog, and then on each side are the ones we're worrying about it. So that could be 2, 4, 6 animals, because we have on average 2 dogs per kennel, right? So what we try to do is move those animals into the sick ward, but when the sick ward's full, best we can do is to shuttle around, keep them all together. But the bigger problem is we have staff that cleans that area and then goes to the next kennel, but they don't know that the animal has Giardia or Coccidia. So we're working right now on the spread of it. So as soon as we find the animals and they test positive, or we find that they're positive, then their kennels are posted and we immediately started on treatments. But it's just how easily it's spread is the continual issue.
One more thing, I don't want to monopolize, but I'm wondering when the new shelter is ready and built, will it be easier to control that sort of thing with private wings or separate wings for animals that have, need to be quarantined?
Absolutely, it'd be a whole lot easier. There's on it, there's different pods, we're calling them, buildings. For the first of all, the existing center will be the medical facility. So we'll have the entire center up here to be used to house all the animals that have the issue. Also, it's going to be indoor outdoor kennels at the new facility. So we're able to keep the dog outside as we completely clean the inside and done all together. Whereas right now, the animal has to stay in the kennel as we spray things down, or it's taken out with a leash and sprayed, the kennel sprayed down and then put back in. It's very time consuming and also highly capable of having the contagious diseases passed on that way too.
Are we looking at opening in about a year from
September
now, the new center?
2022.
I'm sorry, what,
September 2022.
September, okay. Thank you.
I'm not gonna put money on that date.
Right.
Just because of my past experience, but we're working towards it, or they are. They're doing a good job. Looks like we have one chat. Are the fostered animals designated on the Shelter Love website or Shelter Love site? As I think the question is can you designate between current animal shelters and the other one and foster animals? And I don't think you can, because there's still, location might say foster on it, but they're still property of the Ascmp. So if somebody wants to see that, and that's why they're supposed to call us, we can contact the foster and say this animal has an appointment, and they can make arrangements to meet up. All right, any questions? Going once. Going twice.
I guess I do have one, Clint, and that is on the, somebody else does, let them go.
All right, Tina, your hand's raised. You're welcome to go off mute.
Go ahead, Tina.
Yes, what I meant by my question is, if we want to get more fosters on board, we could tell the difference between the dogs that are already in foster and which ones are in the kennels. Then the new people can choose an animal to foster.
Okay, I'm still confused by the question, because any animals available to foster, they just need to call and ask if it's available.
Oh, okay. So if you see an animal on Shelter Love, we have to call the shelter to see if it's available for fostering?
Yes.
Okay. Because I just thought it would be a nice way to get new fosters to come on board when they can look at the various dogs that are available for fostering.
Yeah, and it depends on your expertise level. Any animal on there is available for fostering, but you need to call the center anyways, or at the very least call the foster coordinator, get a hold of them, which we would direct that person to, and find out what you need to do to get that animal fostered.
Okay, that sort of answers the question. I'm just looking to the future of finding people who maybe likes a particular version, and instead of keep picking the ones that are already in a foster care, they could actually take an animal out of the center to foster then. Because when I look at all the animals up there, you can't tell, well, I couldn't tell which ones are in foster care and which ones are available to be fostered.
Yeah, with about 500 animals in the shelter right now, I think the odds are you're going to choose one that is not in foster
No,
care.
I do a good job of doing something else, but I won't say that on here. But anyway, it might be an idea for the foster coordinator to help people be new fosters because they see which ones are still available for the foster.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. All right, Jean, you're up. No, you're on mute.
You had said that Wilson Brinkley had they posted the conversations recordings somewhere else in a different place. When a person goes to look for it now, and where I was looking for it was going to the Ascmp website. And then there's a section where you click on and it has, meetings and different things, and it had the recordings there. Is that where it is now?
Yeah. So what I meant by this, so when you're on our website, if you look on the recording, it has a little YouTube symbol on it. So all of our videos are hosted by YouTube. It's just the link is on our website. So they have to put it on the right YouTube channel for it to go onto our website.
Oh, okay.
So you still want to go to our website to list it. And I'm looking at it now, and yeah, it looks like the last 3 are on there. So
okay. Are you guys still having the offsite events, and are you rotating, and are they including fosters?
yes on all of the above. So this week we are not doing farmers market, but we're going to be here at the center doing animal shelter. It's called Pottober. That's what it's called, Pottoberfest. And there's been flyers and vouchers all over Facebook about it that people can look at and see, share away. So that is happening. And then next week, I believe we'll be at farmers market, and that's mostly foster animals. We're having a hard time getting foster animals or foster people to bring their animals. So I know last week they had to bring some shelter animals to fill the cages, but it's definitely on a rotation basis that we're working on. As soon as we can get more staff on board, especially the part-time staff is who does a lot of our fostering. I'm sorry, a lot of our offsites. So as soon as we get a lot more of them on board, we'll be able to expand out and do more of the offsites.
Thank you.
Your hand's raised. If you could, Jerry, could you also give us the email address for Foster too when you come on?
Sorry, am I on, Clint?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Just as an aside to what Jean was saying, I believe that the Paws Parade is not open to fosters. At least that's what I was told.
No, I never said it was. I said it's for shelter animals.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, the foster coordinator email address is ASCMV foster coordinator foster coord, COORD @gmail.com.
All right, and I'm putting it in the comments so you can have it. Let me know if it's spelled wrong.
No, it's right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. So that's the best one to get a hold of Jerry at, because it's not just Jerry doing it, there's other people and they have access to that email address. So it'd be wise to use that to get a hold. Okay, anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, thanks, Jerry. All right, everybody, thank you very much for coming today. We sure appreciate it. We're going to get this posted as quickly as I can. It won't be till next week till I can get it to Wilson Binkley, but it'll be on there so you can have it for future reference. Don't forget, Kitty Glitter starts tonight on Griggs. We're excited for that. I know our grant writer Elaine has worked really hard. She's part of that. So my wife and I are going to be there. I encourage all you to come with proper restrictions and things. Make sure you're wearing the mask. And look forward. Anybody else have anything they want to announce that's come up and coming? I know I'm just going to go really quick to Facebook. So I want to get the information for Pottoberfest correct. All right, so two things. One is October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. So all adoptions are 50% off. encourage you to do that, to let everybody know. And then we have a special meeting that's coming up for the ASCMV board. It is the 14th, Thursday. We're going to be talking about the board members wanted to discuss the joint powers agreement between the city and the county. And that is basically what formed the ASCMV. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about salary of the ASCMV employees. And I'm going to be informing the board of the increases we'd like to implement for the staff. And Kath or Tina, it will not be online. It, most likely will be recorded so we can view it later on Facebook. We also we're currently hiring for a veterinarian assistant, so you can pass that word along. They can apply at the governmentjobs.com, or they can go to the city of Las Cruces and look up how to, and it's apply for a job, and then you just search for a veterinarian assistant. Let's see. All right, here's more. Kitty Glitter, Friday, October 8th, 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Saturday, October 9th, 7 a.m. to noon, and Sunday, October 10th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I know tonight they require a $10 donation. That's on Saturday, Friday, 10/8, $10 donation. It starts from 5 to 8:30. Saturday, the 9th, is no donation is required, and Sunday, no donation required. And here it is, Pottober Fest Pet Parade, October 9th, 2021, $25 adoptions, 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And that's also of note is these animals they're going to be outside. So you can walk through, you can see them just like, and that's on all of our offsites. If you don't like to look at online, you're welcome to show up on these offsites and see the animals in person for that.
Clint, on that one, it says at the top, join us this Saturday, October the 9th for Pottober Fest. Fall in love with your new furry friend. Adoptions $25 on this day only. How about if it says join us on this Saturday, October 9th at the center? Could that be inserted and kind of I just think I mean, it's not totally clear it's there. I mean, when you scroll down and you look at the post, you see, Animal Services Center with the logo and the address, but I still think it would help in the text at the top to say, join us at the center.
All right, there you go. Changed.
Thank you, and I'll share that right now.
All right, I think that's a lot that's going on. We have some stuff coming up. Also of note, and I'm just letting you know so you have this information, is I am going to be taking some time off. I have to have another foot surgery, and it's going to be here in 2 weeks. So Dr. Haddon is going to be in charge. My wife usually takes the phone away from me for about 3 days while I'm on some pretty good medication, because I've known to send some interesting texts or make some fun phone calls while I'm on pain meds. So I won't be able to be available, but Dr. Haddon has everything there, or everything here that she needs to run the place. And then, so I have 2 weeks I'm taking off, and then hopefully I'll be back in on a limited basis, be able to do that. So if there's no other questions, we're more than happy to.
Do you know the dates of those 2 weeks when you'll be gone?
It starts October 18th. I'll work probably half a day on the 18th, and then I have to be in Albuquerque on the 18th for a pre-op, and then surgery on the 19th. So 2 weeks from the 19th.
Well, good luck with all of that.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, thank you all very much. We appreciate all that you do for the ASCMV. and also for attending the meeting. Obviously, I would rather have you on my team on this side supporting us than working against us like some in the community. And I think that if people came to this and they listened to everything that we do and we're trying to do and the changes we're trying to make, that they wouldn't probably work against us as hard, because we're not an evil place. We're doing the best we can with what we have. And thank you, all of you, for your support. And with that, we bid you adieu. We'll see you later.
Thank you.